Hey guys, Todd Durkin here. Welcome back to the Todd Durkin Impact Show. That is right. I'm so excited today. Q&A session. Y'all been asking these questions, unbelievable, coming in all different aspects between my DM, emails, through the website, you name it. It's been coming through. We've had dozens of questions come through in the last week alone. I want to say thank you for that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get put on the spot today because I have my great friend Kathleen Ferguson from Coach 360 News coming into the house, and she's going to grill me, from what I understand, with all the questions, not only with Impact X Performance, but also with the True Strength book, with the Impact Summit, and some other things that you're asking all about life and that. So without further ado, let's bring Kathleen Ferguson into the house, and let's have a great Q&A session.
Todd, how's it going today?
It's going awesome, Kathleen. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. I know it's been a whirlwind 2 weeks for you. You just made your big announcement on Impact X Performance. So how's it going?
It's crazy. It's crazy in such a good way. And today, as you're interviewing me and obviously your whole squad over at Coach 360, one of the things that I'm most excited about is getting the news out after 9+ months of working behind the scenes on some really deep stuff. I'm really excited. The team that we've been working with is fired up, and I'm excited to dive in today and share some of those things.
Great, because I have a lot of questions for you.
Uh-oh. A lot's come in on my social media and emails and all that stuff. So fire away.
Well, I'm not going to go easy on you.
Uh-oh.
I have some questions from my community, and then I have some questions for you personally.
Okay. All right.
So you've shared a lot in the last couple of episodes on your podcast about your mission, but I would like to understand a little bit more about kind of why. Your why. What is your big why in launching Impact X Performance, and why now?
The why, which is everything, is I truly believe the world needs it. I know that sounds big and macro, but it really is because of the pain I went through for 3.5 years of not having what I love to do. I love fitness. I love the fitness industry. I love coaching. I love mindset work. I love teamwork and leadership. And for 3.5 years, I was in this phase, this stage and season of my life where I wasn't really doing exactly what I knew that I would be doing for the next decade plus, if that makes sense.
Sure.
And it was because of what I'm going to share in True Strength coming out in June here, is the why is the world needs it. The fitness industry needs it. People need it. When you look at the percentages of people who actually go to clubs and gyms now, studios now, it's still minuscule for the number of people who are hurting physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, on all levels. And Kathleen, I'd also say this, I needed it. I needed it in the sense of I felt devoid of my deepest purpose. Like I could have kept doing what I've always done. And for 24 years now, I'm so super proud and loved what I have done. But it was really around 2018 after I filmed Strong that I knew that there was something deeper, but I didn't know what it was. And it took a 3.5-year detour of going through some significant pain physically, which causes mental strife, to get to the point where I've now released our newest concept, Impact X Performance.
That's an amazing story and an incredible why. Extremely powerful. I can see that you have this amazing community that has rallied around you, including Travis and Cindy Barnes, Travis, I actually had the pleasure of meeting at your Impact graduation a couple of months back.
Yep.
And I know you guys are working closely together. Tell me a little bit about how you guys got to know each other and your relationship and how they're involved.
It's kind of crazy because all of the people involved, Travis and Cindy being one of the folks, is I've actually been coaching Travis in my mastermind group for over a decade. So he was in my P10 group with some other great entrepreneurs. And then through all of this, and he's always been one of the guys that I've helped. He started his franchise Journey 333 in 2018. In 2018, he started Journey. I actually helped him with all of the semblances of growing a business, and he grew it to 6 locations. And he and Cindy have done great things with the Journey 333 community. Fast forward, it was August of 2023, after the seed was planted in me that I'm going deeper into fitness because of the 3.5 year period I had almost took me out. I was trying to figure out my own physical pain and what's my next big play for this next decade, plus the legacy play, if you will. Like, I want to go out in about 60 years from now saying, man, this guy left a significant imprint on the universe. It just, I'll call it, it's not a mystery, or it's not a coincidence that I was working with him for 10 years, because um, shared with them my thought process and idea. He said, how about Journey 333 and Impact X? We become one. I can help you with the actual integration of what you're doing, because I've been franchising. I didn't go through this career saying I want to franchise someday. I just want to help people.
Sure.
I'm a visionary. We've got great people around us, and I'm a connector, and I love helping people. I love serving people. He is a systems guy. Travis and Cindy are, they're executions of systems, and they create systems. So when he shared that he would love to join forces, and and that I was like, wow, that's exactly what I'm looking for, because I'm a visionary. We need an integrator, someone who can integrate the systems on that. And that was the beginning of really going deep, and the flywheel effect of, man, we're moving forward. And hence, now almost 10 months later, Impact X Performance has been released, and we have 6 Impact X Performance facilities, because Journey 333 love their community. They're in the middle, as we speak right now, of the transition into Impact X Performance.
Amazing. So you have 6 in place already.
Yep.
What would you say then are the key differentiators between what you are doing with Impact X Performance and what is existing currently in Journey 333? And what are the key differentiators between Impact X Performance and everything else that's out there? Because there's a lot of options, right?
Yeah, there are a lot of options, and there's a lot of good things out there too. I'll share that. A lot of my friends and colleagues own studios and gyms. My mastermind group, a lot of studios and gyms. And what I shared at my mastermind retreat in Florida in March is, and I'll tell you what, as good as many of us are, there's still a lot of people in great need. The few things about Impact X Performance that are unique, I believe in really identifying what are your divine uniquenesses. What is someone good at, and the things I think that are going to make Impact X Performance unique. Um, it sounds rhetorical. The fitness part, we do very unique. I love huddles. I love high intensity interval training, but I've always, going back to my massage therapy days, have integrated high impact or high intensity interval training along with the yin, the soft, the meditation, the breath work, the prayer, those things. So our fitness is going to combine our Impact X sweat classes with soul, of how even if it's 3 minutes of breath work and meditation are going to change people's bodies, minds, and souls. The recovery aspect is going to be unique, because I have not yet seen a fitness studio combine successfully fitness and recovery. And when I
Mm-hmm.
say recovery, it's not just the red light therapy and the saunas and the compression and the percussion and all the things we're going to have. We're going to have all that. But I've, since day one, have always been a huge believer in hands-on therapy. And
Yes.
we're going to have a unique proprietary blend of hands-on therapy that combines not massage therapy and bodywork alone, but we're going to go back and step back to when I got started and created my optimal performance bodywork, OPB. That's getting integrated back into Impact X Performance, because we used to have DVDs, literally DVDs.
Yes.
Some of y'all crazy
I
folks still
remember.
have those DVDs, but we're actually we partnered someone that does a lot of hands-on work, and every franchisee is going to have the ability to do not only stretching but some hands-on body work with all of our clients, including our fitness clients, not just massage therapy. That is going to be a very unique differentiating factor on the recovery side, because I love clanging and banging in the weight room, but if you're going to clang and bang in the weight room, you also have to have equal amount of time
Mm-hmm.
on the other side that we need so desperately in today's day, is the breath work, the silencing of the inside. And
Yes.
our program is going to allow us to do that. And it's going to impact 3, 4, 500 clients within a community. So that's the second pillar. The third is the life coaching. I didn't know when I started my Todd Durkin Impact coaching program last year, and we started that we were going to have a franchise. I just know that I believe in life coaching because for 17 plus years, I've been coaching in my mastermind group and doing life coaching. And we had 44 people get certified just this past March 2024 in that impact life coaching certification. It's totally a God thing how it all came to fruition. But I was like, in my vision and my downloads on my walks and my thinking of how am I taking all of the past adversity and challenge I had been through. And it was like, God, like it's in front of your face as a coach, as a mindset coach and physical trainer. And with the recovery, I've been teaching recovery, well, my whole career. But in 2019, my entire Perform Better talk was on recovery and the integration of recovery into fitness. That was 2019. That was before the pandemic. Now we really need it. So the life coaching is going to be certainly a differentiating factor. And then the fourth pillar, when you really talk about differentiators, is the faith component. And the faith component to me is I wouldn't be doing this without the faith component. I'm not looking to just go open a fitness concept by itself. There's a lot of great fitness concepts out there, none that are going to be like ours. There's a lot of great recovery concepts out there, none that are going to integrate like we are with the recovery and the fitness. None have life coaching. And I can tell you, there's a lot of great people out there who have faith. I'm not gonna shy behind my beliefs and my faith of how it's going to be integrated if someone chooses to do that into our programming. What does that mean? As the last 3.5 years, as I've shared, Kathleen has been very, very difficult. It was my faith walk that deep and that allowed me to get through a tremendously difficult time. And my, I'll say, faith maturity got to a point where some of the people who've been around me, the Pastor Jeremiahs of the world, the Miles McPhersons of the world, allowed me to think deep, pray deep, go deep, and say, you know what? I'm going to make a stand because if there's ever a time that the world needs more faith, it's now. And when I say now is the time for Impact X performance, one of the questions that keeps coming in is, "Hey, Todd, do I need to be a faith to train there or to open a shop?" I'd say you could be of any faith to come work out, get recovery, get life coaching. That's not like a prerequisite. I just know for me personally and what we're going to teach inside to our franchisees that if a client or member chooses that they want to go deeper in their own faith walk, then they can opt into our program, which is going to have sweat and soul. There's going to be weekly meeting opportunities for our small groups to meet and talk about biblical principles of a person of faith. Someone could be Jewish, they could be Muslim, Hindu, atheist, agnostic. Man, when I have a gym, I want everyone there. But if someone wants to go deeper, or if someone needs prayer time because something tragic or tough just happened, I want to be a vehicle to go out into the community as a crusade to help people. Whatever. It's not about religion. The one thing people are like, why is this going to be religious? I'm like, no, it's not religious. It's not religious. It's about a relationship and the relationship with God that we have, that we're going to go out and serve people. We'll serve them in fitness. We'll serve them in life coaching. We'll serve them in recovery. We're going to have the best of the best. But the faith aspect is one that I'm not going to shy behind because the world needs it. We need it. Kids need it. Adults need it. It's tough enough when you have faith in your life to get through today's times. So I'm really excited about that. When you ask about differentiating factors, I can go into the weeds of the technologies we're going to have and all of the different X and O's. Because let me tell you what, when I talk about systems, and I was talking about Travis earlier on, when it comes to the successful operation of the business itself, we've got some amazing differentiating factors that no one else has. So I can't wait to share that with potential franchisees. But from a macro visionary perspective, for me, I'm going to be going out there and sharing my vision because there's a lot of people out in that world right now filled with darkness. I know I'm preaching to the choir here because I love my podcast listenership. But it just, my calling has deepened, Kathleen. My calling has gone way deeper in the last few years, and it's culminated in this, the launch of Impact X Performance.
That's amazing. So I'm going to ask kind of a difficult question then,
Uh-oh.
based off of what you just told us. So what would you say to somebody who was feeling lost in this world and didn't feel like they had a place or community and had potentially lost their faith, um, how would you make them feel welcome and comfortable within Impact X Performance?
Mm.
Because we all go through tragic times, like you mentioned, and some people lose their faith. And how do they find a place to come back to?
Mm. That's not a difficult question. Um, it's a question I actually like a lot because I think sometimes a person of faith, or I'm a man of Christian faith, feel like we got to save people. My job isn't to save people. That's not my job. It's not the job of any one facility is to go out and save people. My job is to serve, and to serve and be a beacon of hope and light. If we could be a beacon of hope and light and people come in because they feel safe, all of a sudden now you and I, you being whoever that is, who may have lost faith or is struggling mentally, they feel safe and they want to come talk to whatever trainer's there or a front desk person. They feel uh, safe that they can do that because they're struggling with life. That's what I envision Impact X Performance as. And listen, if you want to pray together, I'd say, hey, would you like to pray together? You may say yes, you may say no. But anytime I've ever asked anyone, hey, do you mind if we pray together? I not one time have ever had someone say, no, I don't want to pray. Because if you listen and you serve, you mind if I pray together? When someone's going through a difficult time, they typically turn to prayer in some way. Many people have lost their ways these days. I lost mine for 3.5 years, and I faced some dang demons, Kathleen, and I share it all in the book coming up. I faced some demons. I know what it's like to walk through dark valleys, like most people. Most people have gone through tough times, but they're going through one now. Yet you did, or you will. What I envisioned in the last 9 months is just having this. Well, it's what Fitness Quest 10 has been for 20 something years. It's a safe haven. When things go wrong in the community, people come right here. People come to Fitness Quest 10 when things are wrong. We had fires in our community. People flocked here. When there's been suicides in our community, too, over the pandemic, people come here and they congregate. I'm like, why am I storing this just for San Diego or Scripps Ranch? Like, it's awesome. We got hundreds of people that are here. This needs to be everywhere. And my thinking started changing about that. So I guess my question would be, it's a great question, would be how can I serve more? How can we as trainers, coaches, a franchisee who might want to consider opening, how do you serve more? I've got to go out and save people.
Sure.
I just got to serve people, and I gotta be there for people. And if they want to talk about my faith, great. This is where I was, this is what happened, and this is where I'm at now. My job, I know, on this time on earth is to go out and serve.
Love that. So that leads me to my next question, which would be surrounding the types of people that you bring into the facility to serve this community
Mm.
in Impact X Performance. As a coach, would it be the job of the coach to do all of these different things, all of the different four pillars? Is that how you envision it, or do you see people having kind of specializations within the facility?
Yeah. A couple things. Let me preface it by saying this. It doesn't matter if it's Impact X Performance or any other career or job. You got to have core values.
Sure.
If the core values are there, then that's the start. Without the same core values, then there's a problem. So to me, the core values within Impact X Performance, what has been here at Fitness Quest 10 as I speak, we are now going to evangelize IXP, Impact X Performance, so that we attract trainers, coaches, stretch therapists, front desk, directors of first impressions, that those core values align. My hope is that as a trainer or coach, we are going to train them on how to do some of the hands-on things that they would. I love integrating both
Yes.
hands-on, and I've done that my whole entire career between massage therapy and body work and stretching. Not that we're going to make trainers massage therapists,
Sure.
but there's a few of our protocols in Impact Stretch Flow, one of our signature programs, where they can learn their 10 to 20 minute stretch routine. If someone wants to come in and get stretched, and OPB, optimal performance biowork, integrated into it. Yours truly, I'm going back. I'm going back to my roots. Like, I'm going to be teaching that. I love that. So I will be teaching what I started teaching in 2002, 3, and 4, and had workshops all over the country. And I got back to the roots of this is what I love to do. I'm a teacher and coach at heart. So even as the visionary of this franchise, I'm going to be doing this actual work with Travis, with our other integrators, because I want the people to really be able to function at an IXP facility and do what needs to be done to serve the people that need to be served.
Amazing. So you are very excited about all of these different initiatives that you have going on. What are your fears? What were your fears going into it? And do you have any fears now?
Time, time. My fear is time.
You mean you can't be in four places at once?
I don't have enough time to even think about what I'm scared about. It doesn't mean I'm not scared, but I spent a lot of time for 3.5 years really doing a lot of self contemplation. And I've shared this on previous podcasts before, but in my darkest days in 2020, 21, even 2022, um, I seriously contemplated even stepping away and taking time out into the mountains of Montana,
Mhm.
where I'm building a retreat center right now because that's my sanctuary. Um, to think about what's the next step. How can I maximally impact people? I love speaking. I love going out and speaking and evangelizing what we do in health and fitness and motivation. Um, I realize that time is so darn finite. And what I realized in just my early 50s, I'm like, man, there's only so much time. And if I don't do this, I got 50 something good years left. I don't want to waste it. Like I got to make sure that I give everything I got to the day I die. And for me, I know Impact X Performance is the legacy play for me. That listen, my book, not to go fast forward a couple weeks, but with True Strength, it starts out with the crest of the wave determines the depth of the valley. The depth of the valley determines the crest of the wave. I had tasted some crests, lots of crests. I know what it's like to be in the valleys as well. Sometimes people think, oh, everything you touch is gold and it just, everything, it just happens. No, 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 no. False. That is not true. And I share all what didn't go well for 3.5 years and the serious contemplation and crazy thoughts that went through my head that no one really knew about. And when push came to shove and I leaned in on my faith and had some really good people around me, really good, strong, men and women of faith pouring into me because they knew I needed it. But I kept that very, very close. Now I say, you know what? I understand this is all God at work who was working through me to get me to where He wants me to go, not where my ego wants me to go. He wants me to do a certain thing and I'm being obedient to that. I guess that would be a little scary sometimes. Like,
Yes.
no, I don't think that I'm capable of that. I don't have all the answers to that. So to me, time and including time is I don't want to grow too fast.
Right.
I don't want to not grow. So I don't want to be stuck like I was trying to figure things out.
There's a
But
sweet
time,
spot.
there's a sweet spot. And you
Yeah.
got to get momentum. We all want momentum in our lives, and we have a lot of momentum now, but sometimes it takes 3.5 years to get there. No one likes waiting and being
Yeah.
patient. I mean, you know this with everything that you're doing.
I want it done
Right.
yesterday.
All of us, right? Like you're like, man,
Yes.
why is this taking so long? And then you do it like, man, you're so successful. How did you do it all? You're like, it's a long story. Read the book. Like, right. Like, I mean, that's the way I feel. And that's why I'm most excited right now.
That's amazing. So you touched on time. So I want to dive into that a little bit. You have a beautiful wife, Melanie, and a lovely family. So how do you balance it all? You're doing so many things. You have the book, you have IXP, you have all of the other programs that you run on a daily basis. You have the Impact Summit, which I'm so excited to be a part of, by the way. How do you do it?
Yeah. Let me start with Melanie because a lot of the questions that came in, and this is a compilation of the questions, a lot of the question that came in is like, what does Melanie think of all this? Right. Um, Melanie has never left my side during True Strength, that's 3.5 year period. So she knew when I was at the depths of where I was at, when I was curled up in a ball in Mexico on a hotel floor, really thinking some deep thoughts about life and that she was there, putting a darn warm sponge on my forehead. And like she's seen me at my worst. She's
Right.
certainly seen me at my best of those crests. Um, so in this evolution out of the valley and sharing my own visions and thoughts with her and us praying together, um, she gets me in the sense of she understands it's not me that's necessarily saying, hey, hon, I'm going to go start a franchise and I'm going to figure it all out. There's more to it than that.
Sure.
There's a calling that I believe that I've had in the last year that I got to step into, and not up to, but step into, of to be obedient. So she's been with me on that. So you say, how do you balance it all out? Kathleen, you know this. You don't. You don't just balance it all out like everything's perfect. This has been a 7 day a week thing for 9 months.
Yes.
And I say that like in full transparency. I have worked harder in the last 9 months than I probably have in my entire career. Like, I have a vision of what Impact X Performance is going to be. It's a lot of work to launch anything. We're
Yes.
launching a franchise. It just so happens that I'm writing the book at the same time. Oh, we've got this Impact Summit coming up in July, but all of it is perfectly timed as
Yes.
well. I didn't, quote, choose that, hey, let's put three big things all within 3 months and create this massive momentum storm. That's just the way it has worked out. So it's been 9 months of 7 days a week. And let me tell you what, I'm not exhausted right now. I feel, you get tired, but I'm not like, I spent 3.5 years exhausted, burnout, depressed, mind you, like literally all those emotions. I understand them. Now I'm on fire for my purpose of, like, I'm living my purpose. It won't stay like this as far as, hey, I'm going to work 7 days a week, round the clock.
Sure.
That's not smart, and I don't want to burn out
It's not
again. It's
sustainable.
not sustainable.
Yeah.
But I know I'm in a sprint phase right now, and then when any of you want to come visit me face planting in like Bora Bora or something, I might be doing that in a couple months, but it's a long way away in that sense.
Sure.
But it goes back to what I've always shared about sprint, rest, sprint, rest, sprint, rest. It doesn't mean you got to sprint for a week and then rest. Right now, I'm in the middle of a sprint, and I love it. And with the franchise launch and the book coming out, the book is like, it's like peanut butter and jelly with this. It's going to make sense even more after someone reads the book. Like, someone's going to read that book and be like, whoa, TD, I didn't know all that was going on. And then the Impact Summit, Kathleen, you brought that up. I mean, I've been speaking for a long time. Heck, we go back to idea days. I don't even know what, over 10
2010.
years,
Yeah.
like, right? Oh yeah, 14 years. And I've always wanted to have this kind of big event. And when the IDEA folks asked me to come back, I love IDEA. I'm forever indebted to IDEA, going back to the days when Peter and Kathy in
Yes.
2004, invited me in and all that stuff. It's part of my soul. But I knew on this one that I was going to have my own event, and I wanted to help the IDEA folks. I love the training community. I am most at home when I'm around trainers. I love being around hundreds or thousands of other trainers. That's why I'm pumped as we record this. I'm on the road next week to perform better. But I love that. But I always also had this vision. I'll call it like a Tony Robbins type event,
Mm-hmm.
where it's going to be everybody, not just trainers. Trainers often are the spark and the fire, but I want trainers to bring their clients. I want clients to bring their family. I want to have an absolute um, energy manifesting experience that's going to light people on fire. And Impact Summit is that. So we're doing it in conjunction with IDEA, same time as IDEA. Yes, we'll be teaching workouts, but some of the people who are going to be there are rock stars, our presenters. We had 12 workshops, you being one. Thank you for being there.
Terrified.
No, because it's your time as well. But we've got some amazing presenters, speakers. I've got 4 keynotes as well on true strength and going there, because I want to challenge people to step up. I can't tell you in my text community right now, got that text community. If you're not part of it, make sure you're part of it. How many people tell me right now, I'm missing the spark. Something's missing. I'm like, I get it. I understand. I was there. That's why all of a sudden, like, you might be like, man, TD's on fire. I'm on fire right now because I spent 3.5 years literally not on fire. And I know what it's like. So if that's you and you need a little bit of mojo, a little bit of energy, a little bit more dreams in your life, be in the room, show up. I promise you, for 2.5 days, you are going to get lit up more than you can possibly imagine. And I always like having a couple things up my sleeve. So there's a couple things, couple people I got up my sleeve that, well, just be in the room. Just be in the room. That's all I'm going to say, Kathleen.
Yes, be in the room. Well, all of these things that you're mentioning, they're very mission and purpose driven.
Mm.
Talk to us a little bit about Durkin Impact Foundation. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's something that started 2012 when Hurricane Sandy hit my hometown, my beloved Brick, New Jersey. The epicenter of Hurricane Sandy wiped out the Jersey Shore. I'm a Jersey Shore guy. Shout out to all my Jersey Shore friends. I love going back there. Be back there later this month, actually. But what I would say is the Impact Foundation started on a disaster. And isn't that when a lot of good things happen in the midst of a disaster?
Yes.
When you're going through a really difficult time. You've been there, Kathleen. I know you've shared your story on the pod. Um, we've all been in places that you might consider a disaster. Well, for the last now 12 years, we've raised quite a bit of money, close to $500,000 in that foundation, given 100% of that money away. And one of the things that Melanie and I really have a vision to do is to create millions of dollars through the foundation. And most recently, in the last couple of years, it's gone deeper in the sense of it's not just a scholarship kids to college. That's wonderful. We love it. We just gave away 17 scholarships last week to kids going to college. Awesome. But really, the purpose is deepened here with all of it because now um, it's gotten deeper. A lot of our efforts are going towards suicide prevention and mental health, and that's because of um, walking through this valley. For me, I lost two kids. I say two kids I coached. Literally, I coached them and they committed suicide during this time. And it pains me to think that they're no longer here. Their life is over. To see their families and what the families got to walk through, that hit me hard. Knowing now, I never understood when my wife's brother, we were just dating, took his own life. I mean, this was 25 plus years ago. I didn't understand mental health and suicide then. How can someone do that? Like, wow, I didn't. I now I understand and much more empathy and compassion on mental health side. There used to be this stigma around it. Now I just feel a responsibility, and that's why. I mean, that's why True Strength is being written. Proceeds are going back to the foundation. Impact X Performance. We have a corporate wing for philanthropic initiatives to give back to suicide prevention, mental health, scholarship and kids, because at the end of the day, we want to raise money. We want to raise money. We want franchisees to come and grow their businesses to raise money so we can go give back more money and
Yes.
create things in the community that are good. And in my entire career, I've had to work on my own mindset of even money because I come from nothing. I 8 kids, mom and dad got divorced, the whole 9 yards. Um, and I'm like, man, if we can raise money, give it back, and at the end of the day, save lives in the sense of helping kids who are suicidal, not just kids. It's had this week, another client here, a family member commit suicide. It's happening every day. I'm like, mm. The one thing that's getting me up 7 days a week, literally right now, is we're on a mission and we're fighting. When I say be the light, the mission of Impact X Performance is be the light, be the light, be the light, be the light. I don't care. I don't care if I do it for free. I'm being a light. Like, go. Someone calls me up in the middle of the night. I wake up. Boom. I'm calling that person. Like, you look at my DMs right now. It's full of people who are being challenged. Not all suicidal, being challenged
Sure.
deeply with stuff, relationships, money, career. They're not happy. They're in the corporate world. They hate the corporate world. They want to do something, altruistic and good, but they feel stuck. All of it. I get it. I get it all. That's why I'm on this crusade right now to help more people.
Incredible. So, with this message and this purpose that you have, if someone out there is listening and trying to understand how they can get involved in Impact X Performance, what are some different ways that they can become involved? Who is the ideal person that could, potentially become an owner or a franchisee?
Well, I guess there's different ways to get involved, right? Like someone
Yes.
might just want to come work out. Please come work out. I don't care your beliefs. That's not important.
Sure.
Just come work out. Maybe you just want to go get recovery. You need life coaching. You could be virtual and get life coaching through one
Hmm.
of our impact coaches. Maybe you need extra prayer time and you have a church, but you want to really open your arms up even more. Or maybe you don't have a church and this is a vehicle to get you into your community church, right? So number one, maybe it's just when Impact X facilities come to your town. We just signed one in Orange County, California. It's coming to Orange County. On that, like I just announced this 2 weeks ago. We already got people who are signing, saying, "I want in on the mission."
We need San Diego.
We need San Diego. That's so San Diego. We need every community,
Yes.
and I mean that like communities need light, more light than ever before. And listen, I know there are some great studios out there, but we're only serving a small percentage of the population now. And none of those are declaring demonstratively that faith, fitness, recovery, and life coaching, that's the four pillars. I'm boldly stating that we're going
Yes.
to put our money where our mouth is and we're going to go out and serve those four pillars. So someone could come be a part of the community that we have. And again, even what Fitness Quest 10 has built here, it's amazing. What Journey 333 has built in 6 locations, it's amazing. All of those communities are amazing in that. We want to replicate the community and put that out there. If someone wanted to get more in, as you mentioned, into the business side of things, it's simply reach out. There's lots of ways to do it. We've got folks who are trainers and coaches and they're saying, Todd, I want to be part of this, but I can't afford to open a business right now. I'm like, okay, well then find someone, family, friend, client who has the financial means and might be a little further down the road than you
Sure.
right now, and partner up with them. And that might be a great investment opportunity for them to help you serve your purpose at an even deeper level. We have gyms right now, literally, that are rebranding besides Journey 333, that are rebranding or looking to rebrand their facility to become an Impact X Performance because they believe in the mission and want a team of people those who are involved in Impact X to really go even deeper with them. And then the last one I'd say is there are people who are in the corporate world. When I do a lot of speaking outside of fitness right now, I speak to companies of all different sectors and industries. They love the mission. They're fitness enthusiasts. They love
Yes.
health and fitness, and they love the mission. And some of them have donated to the foundation, but they're looking for a deeper play. Some of them love what they do. Some of them don't love what they do. But many of those people want to go and get more involved with what we're doing, but not as an operator, more as an investor.
Right.
And we're talking to several people right now who are looking to make investments in facilities and people. It might be that trainer coach who's like, I'm really interested in this, but I don't have the financial wherewithal right now. And we have investors who are looking to invest, but they're looking for the right people with the right core values
Right.
that would represent an Impact X performance facility to run that. So again, Kathleen, we're just 3 weeks into this, right? As far as publicly announcing
Yes.
everything. And we got people coming out of the woodworks because we got a lot of great people who want to make a difference in the world, want to find a passion play, want to get a great return on investment, and then go do good things with the return.
Yes.
So that's what we're looking for, and that's who's being attracted to this opportunity. And I'm really excited to work with people that are, when I say cradle to grave, we're talking trainers who are coming out of college. And I've got this whole track, and it's inside of our Impact University, this whole track of taking a trainer and getting them through the track all the way to where they have the opportunity to grow into an entrepreneur as a franchisee. And whether that's one facility, three facilities, 5, 10, or more, we already have one person who's declared that he wants to have 10
Wow.
Impact X Performance locations. I'm like, let's go. We got a lot of lives that change, but that's what we're attracting and who we're attracting, and it's really exciting.
That is exciting. I love that you have a level of mentorship that you offer the coach community, because I think that that's that's a problem a lot of health, fitness, and wellness professionals have is, what do you do, once you become a certified professional, what do you do with that? What is
Mm.
the path to potentially becoming an owner? So it sounds to me that you have quite a few resources and tools within your team to help people become successful, to help franchisees become successful. Talk about some of those tools and resources and mentorship opportunities that you
I
have.
thank you for the question. I will, but Kathleen, one of the ways we connected is even what you're doing, Coach 360, a wonderful tool for coaches who want to grow, right? So that's a
Yes,
tool that I know we've talked a lot about with for any coach, regardless of what their role is even folks like you who with Coach 360 and your desire and drive and mission to help other coaches, internally speaking. Um, Listen, I've been coaching trainers for 17 plus years in my mentorship program. The Todd Durkin Mastermind program is a mentorship program, both personally as well as professionally. We help trainers, coaches, and fitness business owners professionally, but also personally, because you can only take a company or a business as far as you go personally. You can
sure.
only go as far as you grow. So for 17 plus years, I've been mentoring fitness entrepreneurs, and this now is only going to get deeper inside of the franchise, still serving my mastermind and providing them a tremendous value and wisdom. And the people inside of that mastermind is awesome. For those who want to commit and be part of the team on the Impact X Performance franchise, then we've got a lot of resources both within the mastermind group itself and then the resources we're using with Impact University. We have an entire university that is already in place with
Wow.
all of our resources where a franchisee can go in and learn, and not just the franchisee, but their entire team or staff. Let's say it could be 3, 5, or 7 people per location who are working inside of this brick and mortar location, which is going to be somewhere give or take, let's say it's 38 to 4,200 square feet, 3,800 to 4,200 square feet. So if the average can be 4,000 square feet in that, and we have private training and group training, that's the fitness side. We have the recovery space, a dedicated space, not where you have boots in the lobby and you go in the back of the locker room and you have the sauna. I'm talking a space, a dedicated space. It's going to have a different feel when you walk into the recovery space that one could actually recover, systematically recover,
Right.
and get recovered and reignited with your energy. So those are some of the things that we'll have there. And then the coaches and trainers, they have tremendous resources to learn, even like they're going to get trained in our impact stretch flow. They're going to get trained in how not only would I conduct a class, but how they will conduct that class so that it's going to have that complete from A to Z, how we do that. And all the programming is provided for the coaches and trainers to use, whether they have one facility, 5 facilities, 10 facilities. So the programming with our group exercise program is provided for them as well. So it's really, we always hear this thing like turnkey operation.
Yes.
This is as turnkey as it gets, all the way
Sounds
to the
like
point
it.
of the build out. I've partnered with a company that actually builds it out, everything to spec, so it takes out every guessing game. You don't have to make 85 phone calls to different companies. You make one phone call to this company and they execute. They could literally have it open in 3 days. Once the whole, obviously the shell is
Right.
done, it could be turned, boom, and everything's on the walls, everything's inserted, the equipment's inserted, because they house all the equipment, like everything is done for you. Like, nah, Todd, that's too good to be true. It does sound too good to be true, except if there's another player up top who's been helping out the whole time going
Right.
through this. And you find companies that do this, that like people start coming like, how are these people coming into my life like right now? It's kind of bizarre. Again, coincidental or not, what are coincidences? I shared this last week. Coincidences are nothing more than miracles where God wants to remain anonymous. That's what a coincidence is. Oh, it's so coincidental. A coincidence is nothing more than a miracle where God wants to remain anonymous. There's a lot of coincidences going on right now of people
Yes.
coming to my life. You're one of them. Like in the last few months, like all the work that we've done with Coach 360 on that, and you're, hey, let's TD, let's do this way, the questions on the franchise and all that.
It's
So
been very aligned. Yeah.
100%. But is that a coincidence? I mean, I don't look at like, hey, just people coming in on all different fronts of your life. When people are coming into your life, there's a reason for that. I don't think anything's just like, oh, it's just kind of weird that people are coming in. I've had probably 8 to 10 different people in the last 6 to 9 months at a high level, very high level, that can really do some amazing work. And I'm shaking my head thinking, man, this isn't me being smart, just like thinking this through. It's the people you're around. And I love that book, Who Not How. It's all about the who's that are in your life, not the hows. It's who can help you execute your mission, your vision, your dreams. And again, not to fast forward to the Impact Summit, but it's going to be who's in the room. You want to connect with the who's,
Yes.
be around the right who's, and they'll help you execute the hows.
You bring up who's. And one of the things that I think of when I think about you, Todd, is that you support so many people around you, your friends, your colleagues. You support everyone in so many different ways. Who do you lean to? I mean, obviously, Melanie, I'm sure is a huge support to you. Who else do you lean to collaborate with professionally and personally?
I just got off the phone right before this podcast with my man, Pastor Jeremiah. He's a big who for me. He we are finishing up the foreword to the book. He wrote the foreword to True Strength, and I look to him not only as a great friend, not only as a mentor, but he's someone in my life I watch and I learn by how he conducts himself. And I admire the way he carries himself and the work that he's done over 50 plus years, almost 60 years of, he's 83 now. So he's done a lot of amazing work. He's one of my who's. Um, Pastor Miles McPherson, I was just telling you before,
Yes.
we're going out. We got a walk and talk this weekend. A walk and talk is, he's been by my side for 25 plus years, Pastor Miles. And through the 3.5 year period, when things were shut down, we met every Monday night as couples for Bible study. He is a major who. He gets me, I get him. And people are like, man, you got a lot of pastors around you. I'm like, I need a lot of help. I need a lot of support.
Don't we all?
Like, are you opening a church, Todd? Are you opening a church? People keep asking me, are you opening a church? I'm like, no, I'm not opening a church, but there is going to be a faith component. And it's not just because of who I'm around, the Pastor Jays of the world and and Miles, but it really is because I just feel really called, and I think God had a master plan that I'm stepping into, and I'm calling other people to step up. Calling other people to step up. I want to be a leader even more in this industry. I want to be even more of someone that I can mentor people, young, old people who want to make a difference in the world. I realize I can't do it by myself. When you ask some of the who's in the business side, you are the one who connected me with Nicole Dunn. Like, God, Nicole has been an amazing help, and we're looking for all the help we can get. And Nicole does PR. I've never had a PR person ever, ever. And with the book and all that we're doing, all of our initiatives, in connecting with her, I'm excited about what she can do to put even more octane on the tank, because I've spent more time with Nicole and her team over the last several months, just amping up the message of what we're doing and why. And I mean, this sounds funny, like the who's. I read, and you saw me before the show going through my text community of all the messages of people, all the
Yes.
questions coming through. Like, I love finding not just quote named people, but who's fighting right now, who's in the middle of a battle. That's what keeps me alive. Like,
Yes.
I actually, not that I like seeing people going through hard times, but I'm realistic enough to know that everyone's got something. And it's that stuff when I'm scrolling through, I'm like, dang. Okay, so some of my messaging will be toward those people.
Yes.
Those are a few of the who's. I've got some good who's in my life.
You have amazing who's in your life. In fact, not only is your whole team is they're just so collaborative. They know their industry, but they're just gems of
Yeah.
humans. They're incredible people.
Yeah, we had
Everyone you
a
surround
call.
yourself with.
We had a call last Monday with the team, and Kelly Watson, another who in my life. She got elevated to the director of coaching, and she put together our flow chart. We use the EOS model, put together a flow chart, and I was looking at this like my blood pressure went down 10 points by looking at all the who's
Yes.
in a graphic. I'm like, man, we got some good people. And she even said, Todd, you need to stay in your lane of what you do really well. And I was like, thank you. I need that, so you don't feel like you have to do everything, because I would say that we've always had a really good team. I really would. On both Fitness Quest 10 and TDE, I can honestly say right now, I've never felt stronger or better about our who's on the team. And I'm not sure if it's because where I'm at or because truly who is on the team, because we have some really smart who's on the team. I'm looking across the board and I'm looking at Jace Mitchell, who's
Yes.
our CMO and doing all the great marketing. I'm looking at Frank, who's doing some great work inside of the mastermind group and all the way across the board. I mean, literally with all of our different initiatives with Lizzie and I'm not going to name all the people because we got like
Sure.
13 people, but our team right now is doing an amazing job at on the TDE side. Jeff Bristol on the FQ10 side is really doing that. Heck, we just grew Fitness Quest 10 inside of Scripps Ranch because we're maxing out here and just a
Wow.
few miles away. FQ10 grew, and I'm really proud to still be a partner at Fitness Quest 10. People are like, wait, how? I don't understand. It's simple. Is God called me to work on bigger and bigger things? I wanted to go out and evangelize
Mm-hmm.
globally around our country, around this world on that. I'm still as rooted as ever in training my clients, athletes, serving our community. I want the book signing we'll have at Fitness Quest 10. Like, this is my baby. It's my DNA. But we got to spread this bad boy. And we're
Yes.
going to go out and evangelize. And that's what True Strength's about. That's what Impact X Performance is all about. And there's just a lot of great who's around. And you mentioned that even in the business side, guys like Jeff Fenster. People are like, who's Jeff Fenster? Fenster is a dude that came in my life because of Drew Brees. Drew Brees is one of my who's, and Brees introduced me to Fenster for a crazy reason. Next, I know that Jeff Fenster is a guy who started Everbold, as We Build. We Build's the company that I'm working with
Yes.
on the build out of the franchise, and Jeff Fenster is a Mac Daddy franchisor who understands this world like I never understood it. So when I told him this past fall what I was doing, he's like, I got you. What I didn't know, check this out. Jeff Fenster, who's got hundreds of Everbolds, he grew up in this community of Scripps Ranch.
Wow.
He's like, TD, I've been following you for 20 years. I'm like, wait, what? He's like, I was in high school when you opened your business in year 2000. I've been watching you the whole time. I know what you're
Wow.
about. I'm like, wait, what? And here I am stepping into the franchise world. And he's like, I got you. I know what you're about. I'm going to help you. Guys like Jeff Fenster, like, you talk about, was that a coincidence? He grew up just a few miles down the street. He started many businesses, but he's major in the franchising world. He's been one of the guys I've been leaning on and doing work now with WeBuild, one of his companies that him and Drew are involved with. Like
Unreal.
all of these
Yeah.
people coming in, I'm like, if you really hear the story, you're like, it's not possible. It's too coincidental. It is. But that's why I truly believe that all of this and the people coming into my life, it's for a reason. And the
Yes.
reason deep down, and I was talking to Travis about this the other day, and Tom Dexter and Ryan Felipe, who are on my advisory board, which is, again, more who's. And, you've probably heard that name, Dex and Ryan. I'm like, right now, we got to stay uber focused on changing lives. That's my role. I want to serve people. Like, there's a lot of moving parts. Serve people. Like, that's right. You stay in your lane. Speak more. Podcast more. The more people that get this podcast, the more people who share this podcast and get the message of go out and serve, go out and serve, go out and serve, go out and serve. Then the more people who are helped. And that's my lane, and that's what Kelly reminded me to do. And I know I'm getting in the weeds here, but
No,
you
no.
asked about all the who's. There's a
Yes.
lot of good who's, and I'll finish with you talked about Melanie. She just sits back and she trusts me that all of these things are happening. She's supporting everything, not only with what I'm doing, but she's a college professor and she's taking care of the home because she laughs at me because like as long as there's food on the table and we got a bed to sleep and I'm cool. She's like, you don't see like you got the Durkin piles piling up. I'm like, wait, what? Like
Durkin piles?
she calls them Durkin piles because I got like piles of papers and different like,
Yes.
but I'm very organized. Like I got a pile for the franchise. I got a pile for True Strength. I
Mhm.
know my piles. And she gets so mad at me because I got like all these different piles. I'm like, no, don't touch my
Don't touch
piles.
the Durkin
Don't
piles.
touch the piles. Right. So anyway, it comes full loop back to her because she trusts me enough that the who's that are around, there's a lot of people and they're all working for the common good.
You talk about all of these people. You have an amazing team of people who are spreading the light.
Mm.
Tell me some of the other platforms that you're using. I know you have Nicole that is, just putting some fire behind everything. What other platforms are you using to get the word out and to spread this light?
It's somewhat organic. because uh, Chase Mitchell, myself, doing a lot on social media. We do have Chase has done an awesome job with really getting that word out there. We've got some support on that side because if I spend all my time doing social media, I don't get to do some of the things that are even quote more important, like really focusing on some of the development of the things we're doing inside of the franchise. So social media is one of the quote platforms. When I say social media, I'm talking macro social media because it's
Sure.
like every darn platform within social media between Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, all the different ones. Um, those are some of the platforms on the social media side and digital side that we're doing a lot of as well. Man, what else are we doing on platforms? You mentioned the PR side. I'll also say this is some of our like sponsors or vendors I've worked with for many years. Under Armour. You see the jersey right behind me. I've been with them since 2007. 2007, I've been working with Kevin Plank and UA. And KP is a guy that even now with this new venture and True Strength, he's like, man, we got to get back to Under Armour and do something for the Under Armour team, share the good news of what we're doing, because that's what UA is trying to do, is getting the word out there. So I look at some of our sponsors and people who we've teammates that we've worked closely with on so many levels. And then Travis and Cindy, they already had existing relationships with some of the people inside of their business, technology wise and systems wise, that are newfound friends that are really helping us on a platform level from the systems integration standpoint. I won't get into the weeds too much on that stuff, but we've got a lot of different moving parts and a lot of different platforms to help us. I don't even know, Kathleen, what am I missing? Because you probably know one or two that I'm not even saying.
No, I mean, I feel like I see Todd Durkin impact performance uh, stories everywhere. Everywhere I look, I hear about the book, I hear about all of it.
Tell me about them because I'm not even looking. No, I know. There's a lot going out, and there's a lot going out on three different things. We
Yes.
got the performance, we got the True Strength book coming out, and we got the Impact
The
Summit.
summit,
And
yes.
sometimes people are like, man, you got a lot going on. I'm like, yes, we do, and thank God we do, because what's the alternative? Like, be like, oh, you should only have one thing going out. Yeah, that's not reality for me. It's not. It's like we're putting it out. We got it going on. So either get on the ship or get off the ship. We're going, baby. And we got a lot of things hitting, a lot of momentum happening, and it all works together. Like especially these three things, like the book and the franchise go hand in hand, because the
Yes.
reason why I'm starting the franchise is because of 3.5 years of hell. When I say hell, Kathleen, when you read the book, you'll understand. It's not just like, hey, let me start a franchise today. It's
Right.
not like, hey, I got a great idea. The fitness world needs more franchises. It's not that. It's not that at all. It's deep. It's really deep. It's soulful deep. And that's why they work together. And the Impact Summit, in combination at the same time as Idea World up in Los Angeles in July, the 11th to the 14th, um, that's going to be one that I'm a huge believer in live events. You got to be live. You got
Yes.
to be live. It's really easy these days to not show up because, man, I'm in a funk. Everyone in the room's going to be successful. Not. Everyone's got something. Everyone's trying to get to the next level, me included. We're all trying to challenge. And there's something very, very good when you're in a room with other growth junkies, people who love personal growth and development,
Yes.
looking to get to the next level, because that's called networking. And I once learned
Hmm.
from my college professor at William Mary, your network is your net worth. Your network is your net worth.
So
So
true.
who are you hanging out with, and how are you? I mean, you know this because
Yes.
you're the queen of the network, and it's who you're around and who can you call and who can you got to pick someone's brain, and Al, your business partner,
Yes.
amazing man who's doing great things. Like, it's your network. So all of these things are working together. And I'm not here to say you should have three things going on at the same time. Some would say that's crazy. Uh, but it's been years and years and years of building the team and us even getting more organized. I can't wait to share even some of our team, the way we've organized it in a future episode. We can do that because it really has gotten, I'll say, more sophisticated or mature in how we're approaching it, that I don't feel like I have to do everything, which is really, really good. Because
Yes.
as a business owner, or an entrepreneur, you can't do everything. And even in the beginning, we are trying to be a juggling artist with 8 different balls in the air. You got to try to find some help. And many times we get stuck in our own head of what do we grow, where do we grow, how do we grow, and it's just again why you should be in the room at the summit. But I have huge gratitude for all that's going on. Huge gratitude for the people listening in right now who are all busy and hopefully gleaning some great wisdom here.
The last question would be, how do people get more information on Impact X Performance, Impact Summit, and True Strength? Where do they go?
Just, I guess with all 3 of them, just go to my website, todddurkin.com. If you go to todddurkin.com, you get information on all 3. Specifically on the franchise, you can go to impactxfranchise.com. If someone's like, hey, let me check this out, you want to hop on a discovery call, just go to Impact X Franchise. We'll get you all of the documents and everything. We got a great info pack that I've spent a lot of time on personally. And the team, we've put together a great info pack to give you from soup to nuts, everything for the franchise. If you either want to be a franchisee, you want to be on my team, our team is growing internally, or you want to someday be part of our community, impactxfranchise.com. And then the summit, obviously, just go to toddurkin.com. You can sign up for the summit. Please, we're looking for people who want to be part of a very, very special event at the Impact Summit. And the book, I'm just going to say, get the book. Order it. You can order it right now. As you listen to this, you can order it. Go to todddurkin.com, buy the book. Matter of fact, if you get it for June 18th, if you're listening after June 18th, it'll be a little bit more difficult to get in the sense that I'm going to personalize every book ordered before June 18th, as well as there's bundles available. People can buy 5, 10, 20, 100. We've got my man Gus Cheliotis has 500 employees. And he's like, TD, I want to get a bundle of books. I'm like, how many, Gus? He's like, how many can you get? So, some folks have dozens of employees and they want to gift them True Strength because everyone's got something, myself included. And I think True Strength ultimately is going to be a beacon of hope and inspiration for people to realize that whatever you're walking through, you can get through it. But you got to have the right people around you. You got to make sure you continue to persevere. You got to dig down deep in your faith. I talk about turbulent times and how you can sometimes get some hard-earned lessons through the toughest of times, but it's always in our losses that we get our greatest gains.
How else can we help you on this mission as we close out here today? Last takeaways.
Honestly, the best thing that anyone could do is maybe just share this episode. Share the episode because sharing the episode, getting word out there of some of the things that we're doing, and tag me on a story if you use Instagram. And then for anyone, one thing I love to do is I love to have a prayer list. Love looking at that prayer list and accepting people's prayers. Just put our team on your prayer list because when you go deep and when you put your life on the line, there's a lot of people that coordinate a lot of things. And one of my prayers is that our team stays strong. Our people that are really making all this happen stay strong. I realize sometimes that it can get ridiculed. And as I put my beliefs out there even further, our 4 pillars: faith, fitness, recovery, life coaching. I have no problem taking shots. I have no problem
Yes.
taking shots. And that's cool because I believe in it. I know what the world needs. But I also know that it always helps when you have people praying for you and with you. And I want to have any of your prayers on my prayer list. And I would just ask you to put our team on your prayer list so you can lift us up. Because when you have a mission to make the world a better place and to go be light, while it sounds all altruistic many times, man, that's when the devil does his best work. When you're doing good stuff, he's trying to take you down and take you down and take you down. And that's what I would end with is just the best way you can help is go out there and spread the light.
Amazing.
Well,
thank you so much for chatting with me today
well,
and having me here.
Thank you, Kathleen. And make sure you follow Kathleen as well. When we shared this and what she's doing with Coach 360 and the parallelisms, what she's doing with Coach 360 News, I think is truly admirable, because there's a lot of coaches and great trainers out there in the world, and regardless of how you serve in any industry, it takes a team of great people. And Kathleen, thank you for everything you're doing for our team and the franchise, and what you're doing for so many coaches worldwide. It's awesome. And I'll end with this. We talk about at Impact X Performance and everything going on with the team is be the light, be the light, be the light. Just remember, being the light. That light can fill a dark room, right? Where you have the absence of light, a lighthouse shines light out into a dark sea. In the dark sea, there's always these ships that are searching for light. It's very dark out there, and when a ship finally sees the light, that light that emanates out, a ship can come back to the harbor. That's safety, and that safety provides that ship a home. And I liken that to what's going to happen at Impact X Performance, as our key logo has a lighthouse in it, because I love lighthouses. I want to go on a lighthouse tour back on the East Coast, and find all the coolest lighthouses out there, because I liken it to all the communities in America right now. If there's ever a time, especially right now in this year of 2024, with so much going on and all the other hubbub, I gave my State of the Union address a few weeks ago. Is with everything going on, I'm not going to go into that. I just know that the world needs a lot of light right now, and I'm committed to putting as much light out as my team and I can put out. I hope that you can do the same, but it starts with you. It starts with you putting light on inside of you. That is your habits. That is your working out. That is you eating right. That is you putting yourself around other great people who can lift you up and help you achieve what you want to achieve, because what you want to achieve is a dream inside of you that was implanted in a seed from above. And as we did that, you're going to say, I'm willing to step up and be responsible for the dream inside of me. I'm not going to live anything else other than the purpose I had in my life. Because someday, hopefully a long time from now, when you got to hop over the pearly gates and face your creator of like, hey, this is what I did and why I did it. The last thing you or I want to hear is, man, I gave you all these gifts, but you didn't do anything with them. I gave you these divine gifts, and you stood behind success because you were successful. That's not what you want to hear. You want to hear, well done, good and faithful servant, because you stepped up into your calling, whatever your calling is. And I want to just say thank you for listening in today. Thank you for being a light in your communities, in your schools, in your universities, in your jobs, whatever you do. It's an honor. Every darn episode, 361 episodes or whatever number this is,
Wow.
I take each and every one of these seriously, and we put a lot of time and thought into it. Not knowing if this is your first one, if you've listened to all 361 plus episodes and then some on that, I just know I'm tremendously grateful. Thank you for joining us today. God bless you, and we'll see you real soon.